A Colorado judge recently found that Trump did engage in insurrection on January 6th, but ruled that he could still remain on the 2024 ballot under the 14th Amendment. The case is going to go to the Colorado Supreme Court, and people want a quick decision on this, but I really believe and know from history that justice is often not swift. Insurrection is defined as an act or instance revolting against civil authority or an established government. The former president, through social media, engaged his followers and fans to storm the Capitol. Under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of the president, vice president, hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or any state who, having previously taken oath as a member of Congress or officer of the United States, or any member of state legislature or executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. So you can see here when you're reading through the 14th Amendment that the president is not, because the word president is not used in the verbiage explicitly, the judge ruled that Donald Trump was not positions outlined by the amendment. Former president is also on trial in New York for $250 million civil suit. His sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., are accused by the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, of engaging in a decade-long scheme in which they committed numerous acts of fraud to inflate Trump's net worth in order to get more favorable loan terms. The judge ruled in the case that Trump had submitted fraudulent violations for his assets, and the trial will determine additional actions and what penalty the defendants should receive. Judges have encouraged Trump to avoid saying or doing anything that could incite violence or create civil unrest. This came after Judge Juan Manuel Mercan printed examples of the president's vocal, frequent, threatening and escalating criticisms on social media, including towards the judge himself. A gag order does violate right to free speech, but in 1976, the Supreme Court developed a 3-part test in the case of the Nebraska Press Association versus Stewart to evaluate the balance of rights in fair trial and freedom of speech. For that test, a judge must weigh in the extent that which media coverage can impact the right to a free trial, or a gag order is the least restrictive measure that can be used, whether it would be effective at all in the first place. Most gag orders are an agreement between two parties. Trump's lawyer, Alina, Habba, accused Letitia James of extortion in the New York fraud case because of the outrage that has been suffered on one side, because this case is such high profile in the first place. Social media has played a tremendous role in shaping the course of events, particularly after the 2016 presidential elections. People have greater interaction with the political climate, controversies, and news surrounding candidates. Unlike traditional news platforms like newspaper, radio, magazines, social media gave people the ability to comment on candidates' advertisement, news surrounding the candidates, articles regarding policy, etc. It allowed people to formulate their own public opinions and sites and allowed for greater interaction among voters. Accessibility of online information enables voters to educate themselves on candidates, positions, issues, and form unique opinions on candidates and vote on those opinions and impact the elections. In March 2018, a whistleblower that is still anonymous revealed to the press that in 2016, Cambridge Analytica used a misleading app to collect personal information on users and their friends on Facebook profiles without their consent. The information collected was subsequently built to build data profiles on users, which were then used to target political advertising. Only 270,000 people downloaded the app, but over 50 million Facebook users were affected due to the large number of likes, reposts, and ads received. The social media strategy was used by presidential campaigns of Donald Trump and Ted Cruz in the 2016 election. The scandal eventually resulted in the testification of Mark Zuckerberg in front of Congress, as well as a $5 billion fine to Facebook. It provoked a global debate about the ethics surrounding data harvesting and privacy, especially in political contexts. In April 2018, Twitter adopted a new data privacy policy with greater emphasis on giving users control of what data they share with the company, as they should. The 33-year-old billionaire testified for nearly 5 hours, discussing about how the American tech industry has had tremendous influence in many ways, but particularly with elections and political campaigns. In the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, Facebook admitted that personal information of 87 million users were harvested without their permission.
He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize. And he said, we don't care.
Ms. Powell, were you ever around when someone...